outlined, like beats. We kind of know beginning, middle, end, but each scene is completely improvised.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely have stories. You know, we go into it like, okay, this is what this episode is about, but what happens in between getting point A to point B is kind of entirely up to us. And, you know, we'll sit in the trailer before we go out and kind of work with stuff like, okay, what's some funny things that we can talk about? What's this, you know, and we figure it out before we actually get on set, which we figured out this season. The first season was like
the first season
was
was
a learning
experience.
It was like
20 but that makes it funny.
Well, because
like,
we kind of forgot that there were cameras, and we would just keep going.
Yeah.
And then finally we're like,
Let's do this faster.
Right.
Let's all go home faster.
Yeah. So if you liked the first season of us rambling like idiots, the second season's much better.
We got better rambling.
Yes, better rambling.
More succinct.
We can just like put it all in one quick little.
Which we're not being right now, but
Sorry.
it's okay.
And how long have you all known each other?
Well, Jodie and I have known each other since we were 4 years old because we both did the same Oscar Mayer commercial, so we kind of started our careers together.
Yeah, we met over hot dogs.
We did. We met. Yeah. And then.
What were you thinking?
I don't know. I just hot dogs, and I was thinking about Christine when we were sitting in traffic, and she was talking about a hot dog.
There's a hot dog on a corner. I'm pregnant. I roll my window down, get a hot dog. We're not moving. Sorry, we're late.
But I can't even.
We're late because Christine had to eat
The hot dog. It's the baby's fault.
Hashtag pregnant problems.
Right.
And then Christine and she was actually on our show.
Yes.
So she was a pregnant teen.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Light imitating art, imitating light.
And Christine and I were in acting class together. I was like 12, you were about 14 or something like that.
I was
Whatever.
Yeah, but I also, Step by Step and Full House had the same producers, and when I was coming out to Los Angeles to audition, I went to the set of Full House to do a monologue where they were going to put me on tape, and the perk of that was that I got to meet the cast of Full House, which as an 11-year-old was pretty darn exciting, as you can imagine. So I have a picture of me fanning out, and my eyes are crazy. And
So I was your perk?
You were my perk. You might have been like my first like fanning out moment. So I know. Now I'm totally bored with you.
Yeah, I know.
Jen, do you want to ask?
So I have to know, social media is so huge, obviously, in everyday life, and even more so like in Hollywood, you know, it's become part of persona. So tell me, how important is it for you guys to maintain your authenticity on social media, or even just, you know, when you're doing
It's a huge thing. Like I love posting pictures of me without makeup, because as much as I love this, I cannot do this to myself. I've tried. It has been unsuccessful. And most of, we're moms. Like we don't look fabulous all the time. Like, I mean, actually, I'm speaking just for myself. They always look fabulous. They're always stunning.
Yeah,
they're always magical. But I think it's important kind of just to be authentic, and also just show that, like, there's another side of us. This is our job. This is what we do. We get all dolled up. But, like, when we're at home with our families, like, yeah, maybe sometimes it ain't so pretty.
Yeah, I mean, I have my daughters are 10 and 7.5. And so, my older one she doesn't have any social media accounts yet, but she has like Musical.ly and stuff like that. She's, I always tell her that, what's on the outside is not the important stuff. And I'm terrible at social media. I think I just started doing Instagram stories.
We were teaching her
because I don't like it. It feels narcissistic. It feels it's weird for me. I'm not that person.
Fun. You can get really great things like subway rides.
We took Bev on her first subway ride.
What?
This is my first in 10 years.
I story that.
But I always try and I do post. I actually hate being all dressed up. I don't like wearing makeup and having my hair done. Doesn't feel like me. So most of my Instagram stuff, unless we're doing press or whatever, is just very, natural. And like you said, we're moms, so it's like, here's a picture, my kids doing their thing, or
life
outside
gets
the
messy.
park, or whatever.
We can all relate,
And I think it's important. I think we do, with social media, we see so much of the heavily filtered, heavily edited, now you can Photoshop on your phone and all this stuff. Like, there's no time for that. This is life. We've got other things.
Love that.
I have a 2-year-old, so very unpredictable. And there have definitely been a couple of videos where there have been bodily functions happening that I was not aware of.
Oh, that
is the best video.
Can't filter that out.
No, but I have to give it to her. Her comedic timing was brilliant. Yeah. So I was very impressed by that. I had at least please keep it on my Instagram.
Awesome. Love it, ladies. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, Melissa, do you have a question? Are you good?
Yeah, no, I'm watching and I'm thinking like it's not really scripted, but it's fun. Like, is this? I mean, where does this come from? Like, were you guys all friends before? I mean, you knew each other, but were you friends before? Because you seem so like you know each other forever.
It's you know, it's a very natural. What's amazing about our friendship too is like we get each other to a level that it's so different because we shared life experiences, and so we can go months without talking to each other, and the moment you put us in the room together, we are tight as tight can be. And it's just everything is so natural, it's so organic, and it's amazing to have these wonderful women who just inspire me, who make me funnier, who make me love harder, laugh harder, and live better. And so I'm very, very blessed to be able to also
Put that on a t-shirt, Beth.
as soon as it's coming out, I was like,
I like to make fun of Beth. It's pretty easy. I'm
that's
also
what
just
happens.
distracted by the fact that I'm wearing a horrendous pink wig on
I
television.
know.
Yeah, okay.
My last question though is, how did you manage to survive Hollywood as kids and be three normal moms sitting on a couch? Because it seems like
I think Hollywood gets it bad. It's not as scary as you think. It's pretty normal. It's just a lot of people doing their jobs. You just hear about the really ugly stuff, but the day-to-day stuff is, it's wonderful. I mean, I had an amazing experience growing up. If I didn't, I wouldn't be doing it today, and I certainly wouldn't be working with the same people that I did, as a child 30 years later.
I think that says a lot, though. I mean, not everybody has maybe a great relationship with their cast, and I think all three of us, our casts were like families to us. I know, Patrick Duffy and Suzanne Summers were just wonderful, grounded, normal people at work. There were no diva antics. There was no, throwing things and having tantrums on the set. So as a child, I viewed two people who were very successful and very humble and very caring.
Yeah.
And I don't know that everybody, unfortunately, I don't know if that's everyone's experience, but I think that says a lot for how the work relationship that we had, and also we had families behind us that were very supportive and also very grounding. Mine were anyway. And I give my parents a lot of credit for keeping me normal and giving me a normal life outside of Hollywood.
Hey guys. So you talked a little bit about how you all don't always look like this, and you're not, just.
We have a glam team out there, by the way.
I want to get with your hair extensions on my head right now.
So
I might do it now. I don't know.
When you're at home in normal mom mode, and you have those moments, as we all do, when you're about to lose your crap, what is like the one thing that saves you?
Oh, there's supposed to be something that saves us from doing that?
I was just hoping you knew because I don't.
Oh,
right.
I lean on my husband a lot. I mean, he's my best friend. We've been together for 20 years, and so usually, I usually go out to him and make a crazy face, and then he's usually like, "Okay, go back to the room. I got this."
Right.
So I could go take a moment to breathe, focus, and then I come out and I'm like, "Okay, I can do this. I'm a mom. I've got this. Let's do this." And so I just take a minute. So I'm very lucky to have a great partner.
But my girls and my girls are a little bit older, so there's both a blessing and a curse to that. I'm not dealing with the toddler stuff, but I'm dealing with awesome 10-year-old, 4th grade girls social nonsense. Yeah. But I have two incredibly strong, fierce little girls, which is great sometimes. But we like sit and chat and talk a lot and spend a lot of time together, and kids are kids sometimes, and we fight and we argue, but it's like normal. And I think sometimes we have to lower our expectation of it being perfect and okay all the time. It's not. We're raising little humans and little people, and sometimes that's messy and it's ugly and it's not pretty. But at the end of the day, my kids and I have fun together. We laugh a lot. We're silly. I embarrass them in the grocery store. I love to dance and sing in the grocery store, which my children really don't like. So I do it a lot. And it being a mom isn't easy, and it's not perfect. And it's me and my girls. But they also know when mom's like they'll push and push and push, and then they see like the face, and they're like, okay, I'm gonna go to my room.
Okay.
I mean, having a 2-year-old is a whirlwind experience, and I said the other day, like being pregnant and mothering a 2-year-old is like running a marathon underwater. It's like you're exhausted, you're moving really slow and you feel like you might throw up sometimes. So
But you never get that time back again.
no, I never do. And so I'm glad that I'm home a lot with her. It's really my husband and I. We don't have any other help other than a sitter every so often. My parents come in town and help, which they're there right now. Thank God for grandmas and grandpas. But yeah, I mean, I got a tribe of women that are friends, and I don't know how anyone does it without a group anymore. And this village of women, whether it's virtual or whether they're down the street, of just being able to be on a text thread and talk about stuff and laugh about stuff and say, I'm freaking out. Can anyone meet me at the park? Because I gotta get out of this house.
And we definitely enjoy our girl night dinners where we can just just have these conversations and be like, oh my God. And just like, it's that connectivity of being like, oh, you had a bad day, me too. Okay, oh, it's so much. And then we just laugh about it and we're like on to the next. And then we wake up next day refreshed and re-energized and take on whatever's coming our way.
We do?
Okay. All right, we have time for one more.